Minasan ohayou gozaimasu. Welcome to Jefferson Japan, Jin Japan podcast. And today we want to talk a little bit about Shinagawa, a bit more about the history of Shinagawa, and the little pilgrimage I did through the shrines, the seven lucky gods shrines. If you don't know these in Japanese, Shichifukujin. These are very famous seven gods in Japan. We see a lot in Japanese shrines, and at the New Year's, it's good to go through and do little prayers each of them to get the good luck for each year. So on my birthday, on the 15th of January, and it's my day off as well, Sabadashi, I took a little walk down a historic road in Shinagawa, what has little pilgrimage routes for all these temples, to pray at all the little gods, like, oh, arigato, and give little thanks for, well, getting so far in life. Just gotta give you thanks, right? Even just to yourself, even if they're not real, give you thanks to all you've done so far. That is the main part of pilgrimage. So that's going to be the theme of today's episode, so enjoy. So if you don't know where Shinagawa is, well, it's in Tokyo. Tokyo. It's called Tokyo. Ah, you probably know Shinagawa is like a big station. There's a bunch of shops around the station, and most people just go for that area. But if you want a bit more, say, Japan, a bit more sort of history, you want to go to Kita Shinagawa, like the North Shinagawa. Well, it's kind of odd being North Shinagawa is in the south, but it's okay. We're not going to think of it too much because I think it's like the new station, Shinagawa Station, was built after like North Shinagawa and it's probably got moved around a lot because there's a lot of history here because it was originally the first stop on a famous road in the Edo period. Japan was started from the 16th century to the late 18th century, and this was Tokugawa Ieyasu's like controlled all Japan, and he wanted to get fast, well, horses from Edo, what's now modern day Tokyo, to Kyoto. So he made a road, the Kyuutoukaidou. Kyuutoukaidou. This is an extremely famous road in Japanese history because it's one of the main roads people traveled on. And, well, a lot of that meant a lot of places that we know today got made because of this. And the first stop of that was Shinagawa. So Shinagawa was the main stopping place, the main hotels, the main sort of food areas, well, shops, places for the people on this road. So there's a lot of places remaining from that. And that's what I did on my birthday. I took a walk down the remaining part of this road. And there's a bunch of shrines there, but I can do the Shikafuku, I can do the Seven Lucky Gods Shrine Pilgrimage as well, so it's like, yes, we'll get birthday luck, and we can see a bit of history. So I started off at North Shinagawa Station. I'm staying in Guest House Shinagawa. What's a lovely little guest house you should stay in if you come to Shinagawa. It's got a big history, it's a little bit small in the rooms, but they're really helpful. The showers are big. It's got a microwave. There's a convenience store next door, so it is perfect for anyone who wants to stay in Japan and not spend way too much money because hotels kind of expensive here, like really expensive. So cheap places, local places, is always the best. So I started off taking a walk down the road, and there's sort of like old shops, food shops, because local people still live around here. And the first place I stopped at was Shinagawa Jinja. Shinagawa Jinja's nickname Little Fuji. Little Fuji, well, it's like a little hill. It's got a little hill on it. Well, it's kind of cute. And I think this one was for Daikokten. He's one of the got the seven gods, the seven lucky gods. And Daikokten, I think he was originally from Hinduism. Hmm. He's a guy with a little hammer, and he brings some good luck, like lots of money. You want to do something, you got to put your cackle down, you got to put your determination down. So it's a good luck for like exams as well, right? You want to do something good, you want to work hard, you need to get that cackle, you need to get that resolve. This is the god for you. So giving a little prayer at that. It's always good. And then going, seeing the views, climbing up this little Fuji mound, and having a little view of Shinagawa. What at the moment, well, that is all buildings. Because originally the, this used to be actually a seaside. So Shinagawa was actually just along the seaside, but now Tokyo's built up. They built more downwards to put more, well, houses. Sadly, it's no longer a seaside walk. It's a bit sad, but if we were back in time, we would have walked along the seaside, the beaches, would have been super nice. So the next stop on this tour, actually, there's two shrines I missed up beforehand. Can't remember their names, but they're more smaller shrines. We won't talk about those too much after that. We'll talk about the gods after. Another shrine I did like was Shinagawa Altera. Shinagawa Terra. So Jinja was the Shinto one, and Terra was the more Buddhist one. And this one is to Bishamonten. Bishamonten is actually the only real warrior god of the seven lucky gods. He's got a spear, and he comes from Buddhism. And well, it's like a warrior god. That's more like strength and resolve. Like become strong. So if you want to pray to become strong for the New Year's, this is the guy to go to. And this is a nice little temple. It's more recluse. It's got a little garden bit. And it also has a nice little cafe. So it was nice to go to a little cafe and be like, taking a break, getting some drinks. And before that, I stepped up a very nice sort of washako place, like Japanese style food. That's still there. There's a lot of sort of shops and restaurants around this walk, especially on sort of the crossings. But it's always good to get Japanese traditional style, what is basically very simple miso, rice, and fish. So just fried fish, it's always good. That's the best thing to get if you want to come to Japan and actually taste historical Japanese food, because it's not really ramen. Ramen is not historical Japanese food, my friends, sadly. But continuing this walk, coming to the end, getting to the last shrine, was more built up, more like apartments. I ended my sort of pilgrimage at an aquarium. It's my birthday and I want to go chill somewhere nice. And then not really chill, like relax a little bit. And I like relaxing by seeing animals, seeing fish, like your wise in life aren't really wise at all. Just see them swim away by seeing fish. And that was a nice little break, a little end to my little pilgrimage. And it's a nice walk, I think anyone wants to do this. You take a walk, go for all the shrines, end at the aquarium. It's awesome. An awesome, nice stuff. Say if you bring your kids and family with you, that's a pretty good end, I think. So next we're going to talk about the seven lucky gods. Go down who are the gods and a little bit about them. So enjoy. So the seven lucky gods are probably one of the most popular gods in Japan, the Shikufukujin. If you've seen them before, you've probably seen them on a boat. Yep, they sail on a lucky boat. And if you're lucky, I wasn't that lucky actually, sadly, because I was too late. In Shinagawa, there's a pilgrimage road, and if you go like close to New Year's, I think it's before the 11th, you can collect the little characters, and if you can do them all, you can get a little boat and put them on. So it's like, oh, let's do that, but I was too late, so that was sad. But you can still walk down the shrine roads, go to each of the shrines, and I put a picture in the show notes to all the shrines locations, so you can have a look. But we're going to talk a little bit about these seven lucky gods because they're very interesting. Because there's only one god from Japan here. These are gods brought in from foreign countries, foreign religions, and now become a main part of Japanese sort of Shinto, the Jinpo gods. Because the gods in Japan, Shinto, and because Buddhism merged with Shinto at the moment in Japan. It's not Shintoism. The only real Shinto shrine is really Isejingu. Like that's really a very different shrine compared to other shrines in Japan, the Jinja. So the seven lucky gods, the really cool thing about them is you can see bits of history involved them. So let's go down for each of them. The first one I talked about before was Daikoku Monten, and he's like a protector god. He's got a little hammer. He brings good luck, good fortune in business, and he's got a little sack. He's quite cute, but he originally came from Buddhism. And then we got another one from Buddhism, Bishamonten, is a very popular god in Japan. We actually see it in the big Buddha statue in Nara. Next to it, there's a big statue of Bishamonten, so you should look out that. And he's got a big spear, and he's like the warrior god. So it brings, well, strength, strong. We got a good luck, little money hammer guy. We got a strengthy warrior on the boat as well. And the next god is probably the only Japanese god, Ebisten. Ebis-sama. You've probably seen Ebis. He's actually one of the first gods created in Japanese Shinto. He's one of the only Japanese gods in the boat. Well, it's very interesting. And Ebis, he's a little fisherman. He's a little merchant, so he brings good luck with fish, good seafood, crops. So he's very popular in Japan. You see him in a lot of restaurants, a lot of fish places. And Ebis, the interesting thing about Ebisten was before he became one of these gods, the 7 lucky gods, he didn't have a face. Because in Shinto, gods, they didn't really have human form. Only when Buddhism came to Japan did they become humanized. And this is the 7 lucky gods. This one, Ebisu became the Ebisu we know today. And the next two are 2 interesting ones. These are from China. Jurokujin and Fukurokujin. So these are the old men gods. We have Jurokujin, who's like, he's got a little momo, he's got a little peach, he's got a shrine, and he's got a little deer, and he's like old age. He's an old man, but he's like old age, longevity. He's old, but he's like a tree. He's like lives really long. And Fukurokujin Ten, he's got a really big forehead. He's like a cone head, and his knowledge brings wisdom. And both of these are quite interesting because they're from the South Pole, the Nankyakurojin. It's actually, there's not the South Pole, but it's like a star constellation. But you translate that, they're from old people from the South Pole. So they're the old men from the South Pole, and they bring the Chinese wisdom from Confucianism and bring that to the lucky gods on the boat. And the last one, next to the last two, one that's actually quite interesting is Ho Tenson. Ho Tenson is actually the only one, he's not born from China, from Chugoku, and he's the only one who's actually supposed to have really lived. He was an actual monk, and he's a big fat man with a sack, and he lives as a traveller, so he goes around with a sack and brings like happiness, good giving to everyone. And he's just a really nice guy, like going around drinking, bringing good joys to everyone. So he's a very nice god if you want that sort of person. And the last one is the only lady god, and this is from India, Ben Santen. And Ben Santen is, well, a water god actually. She's a goddess, and she's got a little harp, and she plays the harp. It's like the little banjo groups in the group, right? On the boat, and they're like, let's go on the boat, bring good luck. And you know it's coming because you hear the music. And to that is the all 7 of the lucky boat of the Japanese god. 7 lucky gods. So if you do come to Japan, try and check out these gods, see where they are. And if you are in Shinagawa, I'll put the links down below to the shrines to go to if you want to do the 7 lucky god pilgrimage when you're in Shinagawa. What I recommend you do, because you can see a bit of history. You can see the Kyuutoukaidou. You can walk across that to Edo Jedi. Oh, not just the cake, the pan, the bread shops, like the skyscrapers, a bit of the history of Japan. You do that, you get more out your travel to Japan. Yay! So, 皆さん、最後まで聞いてくれてありがとうございました。And thanks for watching to the end. And if you want more content in Japan, check out javasjapan.com. I'm doing posts. I've already started a Japanese blog as well, a Japanese podcast. 日本語わかる場合にぜひ見てください. And I'm doing some posts on my Address life, because I'm now using a company called Address. And I'm moving around Japan, traveling around Japan while working. What's a great opportunity for me. I can finally experience Japan. Yay! So there'll be much more traveling content of Japan. And if you have any requests, anything you want to see about Japan, please let me know, and I'll happy to help. So leave comments below, and if you like this podcast, like the YouTube version as well with my face, have any comments to improve, please let me know, and we can make this podcast the best Japanese podcast around. Yeah! はい、皆さん最後まで聞いてくれてありがとうございました。